we're celebrating all these things, but and it shouldn't be that difficult for a business to come back. As long as the business has managed to stay in business while they've been gone, most businesses are being celebrated as they return. That's not the case for AMC and movie theaters in general, but specifically AMC. AMC, to me, I feel like has just made every stupid turn throughout. Now, you have to realize that movie theaters are hanging on by a thread as it is. Movie theaters are an outdated model anyway. The idea that to see a movie, right, with as much content as out there, we are living in a time where people like me, independent content creators, can just go out. I can just decide, what Friday nights need? Friday nights need a chat show with me behind a desk, all by my lonesome, giving my take on some stuff. That's what a Friday night needs. And I can come on here every Friday night. And guess what? Every Friday night, there's going to be however many of you here instead of at a movie theater. Because you have to sit there and you have to go, okay, what is so great about a movie theater that I'm going to pay a whole bunch of money? It's very expensive, and I'm probably not going to go alone. I'm going to pay $50 to go see this movie in a movie theater as opposed to just watching something on YouTube for free. As opposed to just watching something on one of the streaming services that I'm already paying for anyway. Can I just wait a month and see the exact movie that I'm going to see in theaters on a streaming service that I'm already paying for? It's already, there's already a hurdle to get over. So to me, I feel like movie theaters in general need to take this time to just get smart, to just figure out, okay, how do we make it so that when people get back, movie theaters are the place to be? Especially because movie studios, companies, have been releasing movies while we've been out. For years, people are like, oh, wouldn't it be great if there was a model where we could get first-run movies in our houses? Wouldn't it be great if we didn't have to go to a movie theater? When your business model is people will come here because they don't have any other choice, and that's the whole business model, it's a flawed business model because eventually people will figure out a way to not do it. And when they figure out a way to not do it, you got no more business, right? That's like a hostage situation. Instead of being like, we provide a great service, that's why people will keep coming to us. You go, they've got no other options. They have to keep coming to us. Well, what happens when another option presents itself? We didn't think that far ahead. I don't know. So the first misstep that AMC made was Universal starts putting out movies. I think they're the ones that put out the Trolls movie, and it did phenomenally well. If you've got a kids movie and you didn't rush it out to put it straight to home release while all this was going on, you're a fool. I mean, anybody with kids will tell you that when you got your kids stuck at home, you'll do anything to keep them quiet. And a new kids movie that they're actually into is one of the great blessings you could ever have. The other thing that you can guarantee is that if it is a good movie, here's the good part. They will be quiet, sometimes for a full 90 minutes. Here's the bad part. They will want to watch the movie over and over again. No kids movie gets a good reception and only gets watched once. Kids want to watch their movies over and over again. That's the jizness, the jizzy genius of this business model is that it's $20 a rental. So when your kid watches, you pay $20 so you can get your kids quiet for the evening. You show them Trolls. Everything works. They loved it. You go to bed feeling like the boss. You wake up the next morning, Daddy, I want to watch Trolls again. What? It's going to be another $20. And you got families shelling out hundreds of dollars just so they can keep watching Trolls. It's a beautiful, genius business model. And Universal, they realized that. And they said, they were like, well, we might just release movies. We might keep doing this business model. And AMC panicked. And instead of AMC going, well, Universal's free to do whatever they want, we have full confidence that our customers will continue to come to AMC theaters because they're just so great. People love our theaters. They would never stop going. Instead of putting that message out, AMC goes, oh, yeah? Well, if AMC keeps doing that after if Universal keeps doing that after we reopen, AMC's never showing another Universal movie ever again. And Universal's like, so you just won't show the new Fast and the Furious movie. You just turn down that money. And AMC's like, yeah. And they're like, okay, fine. AMC's like, all right, maybe not. Because right there, when you say, all right, Universal, you want to play tough? You want to play tough? We won't show any of your movies. That's your way of telling the world the only reason you come to our theaters is because you don't have any other option. And once people really let that sink in, they won't go to theaters anymore. I like movie theaters. That's because I like the escape and because I am a big movie fan. I wouldn't go so far as to call myself a cinephile. Same reason I wouldn't call myself a sneakerhead, or I don't need to label every single thing about my life. But I like going to movie theaters. I always have. Most people don't, especially now, because there's cell phones on, there's people talking. It's just more comfortable at home. I get it. So that was a bonehead move to me. But the most bonehead move that AMC did was this week, and they just are flip-flopping left and right. So AMC plans on having most of their theaters open beginning of July. It's a weird goal. Like July 10th, I think, is when they want to start reopening all their theaters. And, they would split up seats. Some theaters are already open, but they would, split up seats so they're all spread out. When you buy a ticket and you buy like you and your lady, you and your man, you buy 2 seats together, they're going to block off the 2 seats next to you. Now, the person in front and behind you are still going to be sitting right there, so somebody's going to be coughing on the back of your neck anyway. I don't know if they thought that far in advance. It should be all directions, but regardless, I think that's the plan. But they want to get the theaters all back open for Mulan. I had no idea there was such a high demand for the live-action version of Mulan, but apparently there is. People are very excited. They want to see Mulan in theaters. You can't get the same experience at home. I was like, all right, so be it then. Okay, fine. Go see Mulan in theaters if it means that much to you. But I guess AMC was asked, well, are you going to make everybody wear masks at the movie theaters? Because that's the big question. Are people going to have to wear masks? And AMC, their statement was, we're not going to make people wear masks because we don't want to get involved in any political issues. And you're like, what? What? You're not supposed to just kowtow to the idea that the mask thing is a political issue. The mask thing is supposed to be a science issue. It should be a science issue. If you don't wear a mask, it should be because you don't think there is science behind it to support the idea of wearing a mask. If you're not wearing a mask, you should have some kind of scientific proof that not only would it not help you to have a mask on, but should you be corona positive but symptom-free, that it would not help the person next to you for you to be wearing a mask on. That it would not help you or the people next to you to not have that mask on. That's what you should be able to prove scientifically if you're not going to wear the mask. I mean, I guess by the same token, if you are going to wear the mask, I don't know if you should have to prove scientifically that it does help. I think you should probably err on the side of caution with the mask thing. But either way, it should not be a political stance. I know that Trump has said that he thinks that the people who don't wear masks, he said it, that there are some of the people who aren't wearing masks, or who are wearing masks. Some of the people who are wearing masks are doing it just as a sign that they don't support him, which is like the most insane egomaniacal thing I've ever heard. But at the same time, what that does is it adds credence to the fact that if you're wearing a MAGA hat, don't put a mask on. And you're like, why? Why? Why is it a political thing? Why does it matter? What should it be? Just if you don't wear a mask, explain to me why with science. That's all. That's all. But if you don't wear a mask because the liberal media tells you to, because the lamestream media is telling you to wear a mask, so I'm not going to, or because masks are for chicks, or because whatever your reason is, that's stupid. If you're not wearing a mask, you should be able to tell me why without sounding like a high school kid. That's all, I think. But AMC just kowtows to this idea. They just go, well, it's very political to wear a mask. And you're like, no, it isn't. It's not a political statement to wear a mask. When I go out with my mask on, it's legit made of WWF bed sheets. It's made of WWF, old school WWF fabric. And I put it on. And honestly, I usually wear my mask to make other people feel more comfortable. I don't know any of the science behind it. If I'm going to a grocery store, if I'm going to be someplace for a long time, then I'll wear the mask because it's probably better for you. But if I'm just if I'm going in and out of Dunkin' Donuts, for instance, to just grab coffee, right? I wouldn't wear a mask because I'm not really even interacting with anybody. There's a big glass, plexiglass thing in front of the cashier. So I wouldn't, but if somebody walks in and they see me and I don't have a mask on, they get uncomfortable. I'm like, I'll wear a mask. Why ruin anybody else's day with a really easy thing, So I feel like it would be so easy for AMC to just go, well, we're going to abide by state law. So, if it's illegal to wear a mask, that's all. Just say something like that. We're going to abide by state law and keep it moving, right? That's all. But so they say, no, we're not going to get involved in the politics of it, which is asinine to say. It's stupid. So everybody turns around now and they just destroy AMC. Destroy. Because let me tell you something. And I might get into a whole show about Generation Z. I kind of love Generation Z. I saw this meme this week of a bunch of Gen Zers making fun of millennials and how millennials are old and none of them have jobs and they all love Harry Potter. And I was like, that's hilarious. That now the millennials are going to become all the Gen Xers and boomers and all the people that didn't understand millennials that millennials made fun of. Now the millennials are going to be the people getting made fun of. And I love that. I think it's funny. Also, I think Gen Z, millennials, and I am technically a millennial. I believe I'm on the end of it. I guess I'm the lost generation. I don't know what I am. But us millennials, I'll say, really didn't get much done. We complained about a lot, but we really didn't get much done. Gen Z is, number one, relentless. Relentless, like nothing I've ever seen before. Gen Z will not let it go until the mission is accomplished. And they have struck fear into the hearts of men, women, companies, everyone. Non-binary people, everyone. Try to do something wrong. You're going to get called out on it. And it's not going to be one of those things where you can just ride out the storm because the storm will never stop coming for you. I'm watching it. I'm watching, police forces are being disbanded because Gen Z is so adamant about what they feel needs to get done. And I love that. I'm not sitting here and saying I support police forces being disbanded, but I love a generation that gets things done. I love that. So they hit AMC and Regal and all the other theater chains because the other theater chains are just kind of following AMC's lead. And they just start going after them. Like, hey, AMC, I wear a mask because I don't want my family to die of corona. But I guess it's political too. And just crushing them. So 24 hours later, AMC course corrects, completely changes everything. And they announce, okay, everyone has to wear masks. You do have to wear masks everywhere. Which it's like, how many? You're going to go into a theater, and is there going to be a teenager who works at the movie theater with a flashlight that's shining it on the whole audience, making sure that, an hour into the movie, you're eating your popcorn through the mask, under the mask? And what do you do if you, sir, we have a policy, sir. Please put your mask back on, sir. Other people are trying to enjoy the movie and you don't have a mask on? Or there's going to be complainers that are slipping notes to the ticket teller. Could you come into theater 3? There's somebody without a mask on. Sir, we're receiving complaints. Could you please put your mask on? Could you please? People are trying to enjoy the movie and you don't have a mask on. I mean, the whole thing, the fact that it's controversial shows you how foolish the whole movie theater industry is because now, and now Regal and everybody else is following AMC's lead. Where they're going okay, everybody does have to wear masks. Oops, our bad. Like AMC wasn't like, upon second, they said, we heard our customers. And it shows you how much we hurt our customers by how quickly we're changing what we're doing. But you're like, what do you actually stand for, AMC? How do you actually feel about this? I don't know. AMC are like, these white people who are racist that get caught on camera being racist, but it's only because they were so frustrated with everything going on and they're confused. They used to be able to get away with stuff, and now they can't get away with stuff, and they don't understand. AMC said that they don't want to get involved in the politics of masks, so they're not going to have a mask policy because they thought they would get the least heat possible. And what they didn't realize is that was a hugely political statement. And they went, I don't know. I don't understand this generation. I don't understand Generation Z. I don't understand what's going on in my world anymore. That's what's going on with these movie theaters. I don't get it. I don't understand you kids. What's the right answer? Just tell me the right answer. And they're like, we just want to know how you feel. I don't know how to feel. Tell me how to feel, please. Please, just don't boycott. Don't protest. Don't say that we're the bad guys. We're trying to be the good guys. And then Wendy's is over here going like, yep, you should have had a good social media following like we do. You should have been, funny on Twitter. And then Generation Z shows up and they go, yeah, before we found out you donated to Trump. Oh, no. You found that out? No.